Here, that's wide out. So get my candle still burning. I'm hoping it's going to take up the scent of the other one, but I don't know if it will or not. We'll see. See, you got that candles. Got spare candles there. I got candles all over the place, so I got to get more candle holders. I want to get one of those big ones. Tables look good, nice and clean. Got to do some cleaning up there again, I think. A little bit, not too bad. I got some more stuff. These jars here. This is preservatives my mom made. So my mom, she's been gone since 2014. God rest her. But some of these go back to like 2007. There's 2011. So the jars are still good. I just want to dump them out on the weekend and get that. So got a little bit of a cleanup on the floor here. Got to do some sweeping. I may have found tar. I don't know if it's any good. I got to go through it again, but it's probably no good. But free tar, hey, I'll take it. I gotta sharpen this thing. Yeah, I gotta give that thing a good sharpen. I can get through here. I had to grab the table for. I was going to try to get this. My mom made this to match my tables that are in there back in the 90s, and my brother's had it out here, and it's not ruined, but it's going to need a major cleanup. But I got all my trowels and everything cleaned. I got another adjustable wrench. So I got that. Oh, dear God. Okay, treasures of the day. I found a... okay, here's my warranty oil. Okay, so you buy a still product, right? And for $6 or $12, you get an extra year of warranty if you buy that. And I know I have more. I know I've used up a lot, but I know I have more. I have two of these sitting in they're only 100 milliliters each, but you get an extra year warranty on whatever tool you buy, right? So, like, for example, you get a year warranty on each chainsaw, but because I bought 2 chainsaws, I got, but I do go through a lot of gas. That thing is completely out of gas. I found a book on snakes. That was pretty cool. I got some other books. I'm gonna clean them up and whatever. I finally found the full set of this. So whenever I do get a stove, I got all that. I gotta clean it really big time. I got lots of projects. Melissa was telling me about the blade she's got. She's got the other blade that's in between this one and the round one. It's kind of like four. So it's not this one. She's got the other one. So I was looking at it today there when she picked me up. Saw me biking and she's like, "Oh, you need a lift out? We'll see if we can fit the bike in the car." We got the bike in the back of the SUV. Had to sort of pile it on the little guy, but yeah. Oh, I just saw Chippy go into the ground. He's probably hiding a nut. Yeah, as long as he's not hiding them in there, in my flowers. So I got 2 more bins. That's a tool bin. That's a tool bin. I just gotta get them cleaned up. Those are tool bins. So I threw some more junk over there just to get it out of the house. So it's like there's a lot of transferring and stuff like that. But if you let things get too bogged up, like I still got to go through all this. I have no idea what's in there. Could be all kinds of treasures in there. Whatever. But the thing is that yeah, my big wine jugs, I got to get those cleaned up. Those can stay out here though. Like there's no reason to bring them in. May store them somewhere else after, but like for the winter, I want to get this, pretty clean. I got to clean my friggin' poor trap. About 5 raccoons this year. 4 or 5 groundhogs. I think there was 2 skunks at one point. Oh yeah, that trap got a real workout this year for sure. Yeah, so all this here, some of this is for my brother. I have to go through it again and organize it a bit. It's just I threw it there for now. Yeah, that's one downside to only being able to fill 1 bin a week. It's like oh, the stuff I want to get rid of. Yeah, because I like to keep this as clean as possible. I just put that there for now because it's a good spot for it. Got to sharpen that chain. I gotta get some stuff from the chain. I did go along with the broom and just kind of take down some of the cobwebs and stuff, but there's still lots to do. So it's just to stay on top of it, right? The house is not too bad, but I'm almost ready for round 2 of cobweb removal. So about, I guess, if you do it every month, you should be able to stay on top of it pretty good. I am getting some stuff out of there, out of the basement. That's a big one. I don't have time today to do any recording, so. But my black walnut, that's what I got for the harvest this season. So I'll let those dry out. I'll have a black walnut. Then what I did do, notice my BR1200 is not on the table because I didn't have time to. Oh, I put another trap down here. Yeah. So anyway, the mice will be doomed. I put it over here. I had to bring in that table there, so I tried to douse it with as much of. Forget the name of the cleaner, and then I sprayed the room as much as I could with the air freshener, just to kind of mask it. There was still a bit of dog hair and stuff at the bottom of it, so that's just temporary for now. But it's where I could put my BR1200 while I'm recording. I'm just hoping that the mic doesn't pick it up too much. Is what it is. I got to work with be neat if I had a remote switch where I could engage the record button and have that in another room completely. But for now. So I got the plug there. There's another plug behind there. I got that. See, I cleaned that up a bit, vinegared it. See what I mean? Like it's starting to dry out to the point where the plywood's lifting a little bit there. So it's like it was so swollen up, but it's fading. The vinegar seems to fade it a bit too. So I'll give it a couple more scrub downs. I'll let it dry for a week, put another vinegar on it. Because this vinegar is pretty old. So I got like old vinegars that don't really want to be eating it. So might as well use it for cleaning. Vinegar lasts a long time. But it's just, I don't know what else could have gotten into it, right? So I might have to play a guitar or two today. I played the Chevelle the other day. Maybe I might have to play my Jackson Flying V today. Recorded the 8-string the other day. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, so I got that. So the dirty candles in there, but emergency candles ready to go. So at least if I'm down here and the power goes out or whatever, I've got several sources of light. I'm gonna have to stock up on lighters. I'm sure there's a bunch of lighters around here. I know I have a bunch of lighters up home, so as I bring stuff down. So cactuses are still alive. I don't know how, but they're still alive. Yeah. Got to sort that out just a little bit better, but I'll do that a little bit later. I got lots of stuff in there. I'm not gonna put much up there just because it's like whatever goes up there is just gonna collect dust. It's kind of like here, if I can't reach it, it's going to collect dust. That's why I'm not putting anything up there. It is extra storage. Sure, maybe something might go up there eventually, but the idea is to, for now, I think all my mason jars, I don't know, I'm still, the jury's still out whether I'm going to keep this or not, but I still got to give it a good cleaning. But you see I can put the big jars in here. Eventually they're going to get used, and if they don't, well, these will just go to the barn because those are like antiques. So, but I gotta really scrub that out. There was stuff leaked in there, so I don't know what it was. If it was soy sauce or whatever. And once I get the vacuum up here, I did sweep that out, but I really want to vacuum that out. So I'll vacuum out that closet and kind of vacuum. Believe it or not, from the other side you can vacuum kind of underneath the shelf. Just to get out any sort of dog hair or anything that is musty and moldy. And then like vacuum. When I do the vacuuming of the place, it's going to be like every inch of the place is going to get vacuumed. Want to vacuum out my registers. I have been leaving the temperature at 10 degrees. And right now it's off. But when I come in the morning, usually that heater's on. It just kicks on by itself. I have no idea why. There's no real control. Like some of the heaters, that controls, I forget which heater, maybe that one and the bathroom one or something like that. And then the other ones are like on an independent. So I haven't quite figured out which ones are where. Is this one? Yeah, okay. So this one's an independent. It has the dial on it, as you can see. Yeah, they look horrible. They're rusty. I've already cleaned them off, but because of the heat, okay, this place is aired out. It's 19 degrees in here. It's 62% humidity. So you get an idea. This house does tend to hold in the humidity quite a bit. And then, of course, because I cover the windows. But that's what happens to these heating registers for whatever reason is they in older houses, I guess, because there's so much condensation between the wall and that. And then, of course, if you just don't dust enough, they're going to rust on you and look horrible. So, like this one's not as bad. Like again, they are clean. They've been swept off and stuff. I haven't washed them yet. I'm sure once I wash them, they'll look a bit better. But yeah, they are what they are. But like you can see, like how the wall was warped out there a bit. It sucked back in. This wall, I can't believe. Like I should have taken a picture of it because like this gap here was about 4 times that size. That's how much moisture was in this place. That's crazy. No wonder it smelled so bad. You know what I mean? I mean, the building's crooked, so there's nothing you can do. Like a ceiling, you see like there's a wave in the ceiling. It's like, woo. Yeah. But yeah, we'll go take a tour downstairs. I don't have time to really get into the recording today. So I did other things and, plus need to rest my body a little bit. But down here, like I say, I got all this, so I want to vacuum this out. I was talking to my buddy how to clean the firefighter suit because my brother was a firefighter for a short amount of time, but I already swept the steps here. Not bad down here at all. There was a board that was there that you can see the walls really drying. The main spot where it was coming in, that's probably spot number 1. But that board, no, there was some wood down here that had been sitting down here for God knows how long, and it's never had a chance to dry. So my goal is I'm gonna have to like shovel some of this out to some old, you can see the brick and mortar kind of let go in some spots. It's just really, really cluttery, very, very dirty floor. The ductwork will go out. One thing about this place, there is golf balls everywhere. I cannot believe the amount of golf balls I find in this place. But that's okay because I can use them. But I got this shelf almost all cleared off. I got to get that's got to get swept out, and that was on the wall at one point. I'm sure the mice chewed it up. Insulation is the worst thing for a heavily condensated place. It really is. You can get it's a R15 and R20 foam. It's an anti-mold foam. And you can put it behind the walls. For a basement, I would never use insulation like that. I mean, that insulation is really old. It's probably older than me. It's what they had at the time. That's what they used. But now you can get products that are much, much better. You know what I mean? So it's like all these cobwebs. You can get this all. Like, I can make it serviceable down here to the point where I can do stuff. But, like, I got to get everything out of here. Like, these old racks and stuff like that would have been... Like that there, that's too bad about that. That's an old milk pasteurizing thing there. This barrel can come in handy for something. I gotta ask my brother what it was for. It's stuck in there anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna come in for scrap metal or something. Then I've got to see. There's a baseboard heater to keep the water warm, but you can see the water comes in directly from the well, right over there, right? And like, look at the mess of wires and stuff in here. Like, I always hate this kind of stuff because like you don't want to get too close to it because you don't want to get electrocuted. you know what I mean? Like, it is a new fuse box, but you can see how it's going to get very cruddy and stuff like that very soon, right? So, because the fuse box I think used to be over there, if memory serves me correct. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I better down here check to see if nope, okay, it's still on. But anything like just getting it all cleaned out, and then of course you got wires hanging there. Are they live? Are they not? I don't believe they are. But where do they go to? You know what I mean? That's the thing, yeah. That's the thing, because when the electrician came in, he didn't mark anything. He just basically, just hooked it up and left kind of thing. So even my brother didn't know. So we'll have to play around with that to see what's going where. Like for example, this here, I could follow it, but then it goes up somewhere and then comes back down. And easily, it's like, yeah, if you don't know, you don't know. But like all this insulation and cobwebs and stuff like that. Like all that's got to get out of here. That stuff's that's the toxic stuff. And as you can see, like like the foundation, like this is really old, so it got bounced around a bit. This house has been, bounced around a little bit. So it's not as bad as you think. Like I mean, it's like the house is still safe. I mean, it's old. It's old and rickety. Old and rickety. You see, like this hot water tank has probably seen better days. That's why I got the house fund going. So I know at some point this is going to go. Maybe I know I got to replace the switch anyway, because that little switch there keeps kicking off. There's a reason for that. My brother did have a lot of water problems down here, so like keeping that warm. What I'm going to do is find something to foam around that, just so my water's not freezing on me. Maybe make some sort of put some plastic maybe up like over, just here to kind of just have like the heat kind of stay in this area. The rest of the basement, I don't care about how warm the rest of the basement is, but if it's like minus 25 down here, yeah, that's going to freeze. That's going to freeze. Yeah, he does. I don't think his water's frozen too many times. I think a couple of times it froze on him, but the good news is that the pipe is really low in the ground, so it's like it's not going to. I'll just put that like so. Put that. Hope Marvin's not in here, because if not, he's going to be spending the night in here. So Chippy's in here with him. I don't think they're going to make good roommates, Chippy and Marvin. They don't tend to like each other very much. Squirrels and chipmunks don't get along. They just don't get along. But yeah, so this weekend I want to make a big push on cleaning all this up. Keep that. I know it's not of any use right now. All this stuff can come out. Just to get it off the floor, get it outside, put it in the woodshed. Like everything's going to go into the woodshed. And then as it goes, like all this plumbing stuff, there's no point keeping it in here, cluttered up. The basement is not going to be used for too much storage. There might be some storage down here, but like until I know that it's not leaking and stuff like that, and I've got it cleaned out fairly well, I really, 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 really don't want to be leaving it too much down here, because if it does flood again, like it flooded. So you can't see it on the wall. You used to be able to see it on the wall last month, exactly how high it flooded. You could kind of get an idea of how high it flooded. Like it was like a foot and a half that flooded in here. What happened was the sump backed up, and it was just running in here like crazy. Yeah, that did a lot of damage in here. That's what all that's from. My brother just never got around to cleaning it up. I still don't know why he tore all this down, because it was up. Like I think his idea was to get all this taken out. Like that's going to go for scrap. I'll keep the plenums because I could probably either sell them, or if somebody does need one, they can. This was an oil furnace. That's the exhaust there. I've no intention of trying to fix that thing. I'd rather put in a wood stove for the cost. Oils. The oil tank is right over there. Paul and I probably I'll have to see if there's any. There's always some oil left in these things, but what I'm gonna do is him and I could take that for scrap. There's no point keeping it. A couple 100 pounds. And like this, I got to get this out, and then I got to start cleaning in there. That's gonna be fun cleaning in there for sure. But little bits at a time. I mean, my main goal was to make it livable up here, and by just leaving that open for the past month and a half, like it's you can still smell like it's gonna be 6-8 months of still smelling the. To get the odors out of here is going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time to saturate it with all the Pine Sol and all that stuff. I'm Not too worried about it though. Like I still haven't slept down here yet. Mind you, I've spent a lot of time in this house as a kid, so like the novelty of it is not going to be that. It's like, oh wow, here I'm here again. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, so when I was a kid, so that was fun. It was a different place for sure back then, but no, I think I'm doing pretty well for the. I got two more windows to cover up, but that's once it's like really cold. Like it might even be December before I have to really. It depends how cold. Like if we're starting at like 25, 30 below, 40 below, yeah, I got to cover it up. I have enough plastic to do it, so tons of staples, so I'm good that way. Uh, the only other thing I got to do really up here is Operation Pine Saw. Like, okay, I got to clean up the the all those like things that I got to wash the jars and all that. But other than that, there's really not much to do up here other than just keep it clean. Like, I mean, the floors are stained, whatever. Like I said, I gotta wash the walls and wash the that's stuff that you do like on a day off or something like that. You know what I mean? Uh, where it's anything I can do outside right now, I want to do outside. You know, like the fact that I'm in the garage or the woodshed. And again, it's basically once I get the basement isn't going to take long to clean out. I'll probably have it cleaned out by the weekend if I'm not working. The big issue is just like taking stuff out of here, piling it in there, and then have to work around it. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't mind waiting, but I really do want to get the basement, you know, cleaned up as much, get all that musty stuff out of there that is in there. Any insulation that's on the wall, leave it, but get all the cobwebs down, all that stuff that's like really holding in all the dirt and all that. So if I can get that out by this weekend, there's really not much I can do to freshen up the basement. It's just you got to keep airing it out and let it dry. But the amount that the walls have dried in the past month and a half, like those bricks were dark brown when I opened that door a month and a half ago or whatever it was. It was dark brown. That's how much moisture was in the walls. And like the first 3 days made a huge difference. You know what I mean? And from that point on, I'd say after the first 3 days, like all the surfaces were dry. Like and then pulling out the linoleum and stuff like that. Like that would eventually dry it if I knew where it was leaking. Because like what set it off for me was the fact that there was moisture at the top of my nephew's dresser, and I'm like, how did that get like? Why is that wet? And I'm like, it's obviously wicking it up from somewhere, and I'm like, okay, well, where it must be coming from the shower, which it was, but it wasn't coming from the way I thought. So once I figured out where it was coming from, I was like, okay, the fix is just basically make sure the curtain doesn't allow the water to go down the side of the tub, and from one room to the next. So that's been dry for about a month and a half. You know what I mean? So that makes a big difference. And then of course, eventually I'm going to get some mold killing agents, but there's no point in putting that stuff on until you know the place is dry. What you put it on when it's dry, then it'll kill the mold. But if it's still wet, or really, really, really humid, it won't kill the mold, right? So, and if you don't kill the mold, you'll always have the smell. So the ozone machine, I still don't know if I'm going to get one. I might not need one if my, if I like vinegar the place, then Javix the place, and that takes away all the smell. Like vinegar neutralizes a lot of smell because I noticed in that room there, once I vinegared it, like I might have to do it every couple of months, just to kind of stay, all the smells starting to come back again. But I'd like to be able to defeat the smells once and for all. But the only way to do that is really air it out and just make sure that new mold can't grow, and then find ways to kill the old mold spores even when they're kind of dormant. You know what I mean? Which Right now, if I were to spray my, everything with the RPR 86, um, and just do the whole freaking house. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to come down here probably for about a week, just for safety's sake. But just leave the windows open, whatever. But it would kill everything, and it would kill everything quickly. And then from there, it would just be a matter of mask whatever little smells left, if there's any. You know what I mean? So it is a process to get the smells out, but like I smell air freshener. You know what I mean? I don't smell dog anymore. I mean, there is some spots, like for example, bringing that table in, you could still smell the dog off of it a bit because there was some dog hair at the bottom of it. But that's going to go away because it's all metal, like whatever. It's just like the dog smell was 90% of the smell. It really was because there really isn't that many mold spots in the house that I found, other than those two main ones there. Uh, in the basement, yes, the boards are, on that side, yeah, that's going to definitely need a mold treatment on that side for sure. But it's not really, really like, oh my God, soaking wet bad to the point where it's like, okay, it's doom. No, it's something that, okay, if you can dry it out, everything else is good enough. Nothing's really rotted, which I'm amazed on that part. I'm sure there's rotted spots here, there, on the base or whatever. But that's every house, that's over probably 10 years, 15 years old. But like, structurally, the house is pretty sound structurally, actually. Like it's crooked, yeah, and stuff like that. But, it's solid. Like it's not gonna, like it's solid. Like if I just maintain it the way I'm maintaining it, you could probably live in this house for another 200 years. What I mean? You might have to change the tin once in a while. That's it. Like houses can last a long, long time if you just follow the rules of keeping a house. It's the newer houses. Like the trick with the newer houses is the technology keeps them alive, right? Because like the venting and all that is all kind of automated and stuff like that. So you can keep a perfect pH balance and nothing ever like if it stays dry, it'll last 1,000 years. You know what I mean? If it stays wet, well then like eventually, yes, brick and mortar do crumble, as you can see in the basement. It starts to let go. The ground shifts, etc., etc. But like to the point where okay, it's no longer safe. That would take 1,000 years for that to be, for the ground to shift that much, unless you were on really bad ground. So for me, I think everything's coming along really well in here. Uh, I mean, I'm already starting the recording processes. That's pretty cool. I think I play my guitar for a little bit, and then I gotta go home for supper. Mm-hmm. Call some clients, and then go to work tomorrow, and then come back here, maybe burn some more stuff. I'm also starting to explore the barns too, guys. Like I probably, if I'm not working Thursday or Friday, which I might be able to work Thursday for, it's not a big job. I just got to pull out some flowers or whatever. But if I do work Thursday, it's going to be a short day. I'll be back here. I can burn more stuff, sure, but I'm getting down to the end, near the end of that in a sense where it's like there's no major rush to burn it all because it's like it's going to be gone fairly shortly anyway. Now all the other yard work stuff, I'm just going to leave it right where it is and then get it in the spring. Maybe rake up a few little piles or whatever, like I said, and just put it on the lawn, and then when it's ready to go, just burn it. I still have to throw in a lot of wood up home. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Throw in a couple of wheelbarrow loads. It's probably a good idea to do that. And if I can get all the wood in the house by the end of the month, Uh, that would be great. And then up down here, like I say, the more I clear out the woodshed, like I'm gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, it's like, okay, this is all I can do for the season. Like, I mean, the bags of clothes, I got rid of a lot. Like, I mean, I got rid of a lot of clothes so far. All the recycling, I'm probably going to fill another full. If I look around everywhere, the barns everywhere, just for stuff to throw into the recycling, I'm probably definitely going to get another couple of bins. But in the woodshed, there's no recycling in here at all. Like there's nothing. I don't have. I got three little garbage cans, and there's nothing in them. Uh, and by the end of the week, there might be like a couple of candy bar wrappers in there. And just because I haven't, like the place isn't cycling yet, like cycling food and stuff like that. So the bins, each week it's a full bin of either recycling or garbage that's going. And like the clothes, I just, pretty much another bin full of clothes. So there's not really that much clothes. There's still quite a few bags, but there's not that much. Once those bags of clothes are gone, then there's really not going to be much to throw in the garbage. You know what I mean? Like the rest is either going to be recycling or scrap metal. And like, for example, the carpet and stuff like that. The carpet, I might just use it as for gardens and stuff like that, because why not, right? Kill it off and then see if I can, you know, put like a little plot here, a little plot there. I still got to bring down all my gardening stuff, which is all going to go in the woodshed anyway. But I'm not at the point this week where I can actually start stacking things up in the woodshed and just make, okay, here's the garbage pile, here's the good stuff. That's why I didn't bring out all the tin out of the basement yet. But once I do, watch out. Like, for example, planters in the spring, like I could put planters in the basement if I wanted to, if I don't have enough room out there. But like almost anything I can keep out there, I'm going to keep out there. Like I don't mind having an empty basement. That doesn't, doesn't, like I don't view it as a complete storage area. Like I might put some tools down there or something like that. Stuff that it's like, okay, I don't want it outside for it to rust, but it can, tolerate, a musty basement, certain tools like, whatever. My like electric tools and stuff like that, that'll be in the closet here or wherever it's got to be, like the tools can go, a lot of tools can go outside and everything's going to have its place fairly soon on that veranda. But I got still a lot of tools to bring down yet, and like the reloading equipment, stuff like that. I'm not sure. Might leave it up there for a little while yet. I do have one more table that I could bring down, but I'm not sure yet if I want to do that. Um, so, like I could set up the reloading bench and everything in the basement, but because it's so wet down there, I don't want to keep stuff like that in that basement unless I know it's dry enough, right? Because like next summer, for example, I'm going to have screens on all the basement windows, and they're going to stay open all summer. You know what I mean? It's just going to be air flowing through there all summer. But I have to make sure that like the basement doesn't flood, and then once I know that, then I can decide what can go in the basement, what doesn't, and that should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. I'll be able to also, like, as I clear out the woodshed, start to, go into the stable, the barn, and the granary. But what I'm waiting for is my dad to go moose hunting because, like, this week, I could do a scrap metal run, but I don't want to do a scrap metal run and then accidentally get a hole in my dad's tire, like a couple of days before he's got to go moose hunting. No, I'm not going to do that, right? I'll wait till he comes back a week later. Uh, that way I can borrow the truck. Like I'm probably going to have at least just to what I can get to, probably at least 3 good truckloads of metal just for what I can get to. Um, I'm not going to clean out the granary too much, but I'd like to be able to move around in there. So like the old shopping, foldable shopping carts and stuff like that. Like nobody uses those. My grandmother used it, when she, God rest her, when she was around, she used them. But like there's really like I'll never use it. Nobody around here is going to use it. It's just you know what I mean. Like it's just so they can go for scrap metal. Because those three things take up a lot of room. That hot water tank, it's going to go. There's a washer and a dryer in there. I think it's my aunt and uncle's. I'm going to ask them if it's any good, if they mind if I take it for scrap. Because that insulation that's in there, that's got to go too. You know what I mean? And if I have to pay to get rid of that, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to have to do that, but if I have to, I will. Because it's not fair that I should have to take care of everybody else's junk, right? So, and it's like it's in such an inconvenient spot that you can't use the stable properly. Where I don't mind if other people's stuff in there because I don't own the place, right? So I don't mind that. But what I would like is that I could if I could make the stable usable. Like okay, sure, my aunt can put my cousin or whatever can put the four wheeler in there, no problem. My dad wants to put something in there, he can put it, like the log splitter or something. He could put it in there. You know what I mean? Like we could use it, but I don't want it just a dumping ground for like I do all this hard work to clean it out and people just throw. You know what I mean? Like that would I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's like no, if I'm going to clean it up, I want it to stay clean, and I'm pretty sure everybody will honor that. But it's just there's stuff in there that people didn't want to throw out, like old bed frames and stuff like that. It's just kind of like, are you ever really going to use it? You know what I mean? Like I get it, they're antiques or whatever. I can give them to Amanda or whatever if she wants them. And if she doesn't want them, they can go for scrap. Just because I know nobody else is going to use them. You know what I mean? Like if I find the old antique bed that was in there, yeah, maybe I'll grab it for nostalgic purposes, set it back up, and clean it up, set it back up, and use that. That would be kind of cool. But other than that, it's just like if I can get rid of it, get rid of it. Like there's old chairs and metal chairs and stuff like that. It's just they're not going to get used. You know what I mean? They're just not going to get used, and I'm not going to have like 75 people over. You know, you know what I mean? If I have people coming over for dinner, like a family dinner thing, at some point, which I would love to do. Just like that would be really cool. But for old time's sake, but that would only be after I know that I've got the smell under wrangled and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be for another year or 2 years. But that would be cool to be able to invite everybody over. But if I did, the one caveat would be bring your own chair. I don't have enough chairs. Bring your own chairs, and that's what we used to do. Like we got like 4 sets of chairs up home. We used to bring down like 12 chairs or whatever. My aunt and uncle bring down another 10 or 12 chairs, and everybody just called each other. How many chairs are you bringing? Oh, I'll bring this many just in case. And we always had like 20, 30 chairs, so everybody had a place to sit, and then there was a couch there, and there was a grandpa's chair here, and then there was a rocking chair as well, and then there was people sitting there, and there was the table all the way, 3 tables this way. We'd bring down another table, and oh, it was really neat. It was really neat. It was quite. You would have 3 to 4 generations of families sitting in one room. That was neat. Like a lot of people don't get to experience that. We did have at the fish fry one year 5 generations of family. Some of them are really old models, and some of them are really fresh, like a couple of weeks old kind of models, right? And it was 5 generations of family. Yeah. It was my great uncle was 97, and my little I can't even think of his name. He was 3 months old or something like that. So it was just really neat to see 5 generations of family. yeah, I hope everybody gets to experience that. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. So like when my dad comes back from his moose hunting, hopefully comes back with a moose. If I can get some of the scrap metal out of here, boy, that's going to make a big difference because that we're talking about truckloads at a time, right? So, and then maybe if I'm lucky, we'll use the truck to get rid of all the tires up there, get all the scrap metal up there that I can. The good stuff, I'll leave it for Paul and I. So when we do like all the copper and stuff like that, because I got to get my bin, like my scrap metal bins set up here. I'm going to set them up near the barns or the stable or something like that, so that okay, here's like a tub, like that's something I'd like to use the stable for. Like okay, well, in this tub it's aluminium, and number one copper, number two, number three, wire bright. Like the good stuff, get all that set up, and then batteries or whatever, and then I don't want things outside where it's cluttery. Like I want things to look good. Like I'm never going to paint that barn, but like if I ever did have the ability to buy the place, I would knock down the barn. Like I know nostalgia wise, I wouldn't want to do it, but I would knock down the barn and the stable, and I would build a barn stable. I could probably even use some of the old tin. But I'd probably build all new. We got the sawmill. I just get logs or whatever. Pour a foundation. Like just cheap. Keep it cheap. Cement foundation just for the barnyard animals, and just you know set up a it wouldn't be a big barn. It'd be no bigger than the stable. I know that. Like it just enough for maybe a cow, possibly two cows, two horses, four pigs, four goats, and maybe four sheep. That'd be the max size. So you're not talking a big barnyard. You're talking to get them in there. They spend the night in there. Whatever. They'll all have their little stalls. Like like the stables. Like you don't need much for like that stable. I think there were at one point there was four horses in there, and you had one on one side, two, three, and then I think the other one was four, or there was one, two, three, and four, and it was enough because the horses like they sleep standing up, right? The cows, I don't know how many cows they had, but I think the cows went into the barn, not the stable. I don't know. I have to ask my dad about that. But I know they had cows all the time, but they didn't. They had basically, I think, a couple of milking cows, and then the rest were all, keep one slaughtered and whatever. Uh, yeah. So like, it'd be neat if I could do that, but I don't think I'd ever get a cow. If I did, it'd be a dairy cow just for whatever, and then get her bred, have a calf, slaughter the calf at the end of the year, you know, and then maybe after a couple of years, once the cow starts getting a little bit too old, you know what I mean? Okay, once you have another cow, okay, wait till she gets big enough to milk, and then, so that could be something done, but I don't know because I'm on well water if I'd want to have too much livestock. So, but we'll see. We'll see next year. But anyway, yeah. So I gotta go do things, and yeah, there we go.